Okay, so welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, everyone. So today we're diving back into Reaktor, and this is an episode where we're going to dive in and we're going to really talk about how we can create some custom sounds. And those custom sounds are probably going to be something that you would like to see in your productions. So, if we continue with our sound design from our last session, I want to welcome you back to another sound design session. And I'm Danny Xander, and today we're diving into the world of vintage synths again. Another episode of diving into vintage synths. And in this quick session, we'll build on retro style synths patches in Reaktor that are perfect for nostalgic leads or warm pads. And let's dive right into it. So, these types of synth are known for their warm hybrid sounds. And today I'm going to show you how to achieve something similar to a Novation Peak Summit. So we're going to design something similar to a Novation Peak Summit in Reaktor. And I want to welcome you back to the stream if you're just joining. And today we're going to be doing a little bit more sound design, designing some sounds that would be cool to hear, basically. So first we're going to need some oscillators. But before we do that, I'm going to go back and dive in from the beginning. When you open up Reaktor, you're going to be greeted with a page that looks something like this. And once you open up Reaktor, you're going to have a play section, a patch section, and a build section. Today we're going to go into the build section, and we're going to build a custom synth, sound design effects, and sound design tools. So I'm going to click on that. And once we're in there, we're going to add in our first components. We're going to need oscillators, and we're going to need a bento box oscillators to be specific. So we're going to add in some bento box oscillators. We're going to duplicate them. And then once we do that, we're going to dial in some tones. So I'm going to add a third one. And this third one's going to be here so that we can really carve out our sound. And we're going to go pretty quickly. So feel free to take your time if you have to rewatch the replay. So first, I'm going to set our oscillator to a sine wave. So this one's set on a sine wave. Let's reorganize the panel. That one's set on a sine wave. Then I've added in 3 oscillators, and I'm going to detune them slightly. So let's say a couple cents on each. And the reason for this is to create some more of a chorus-like effect, and that's what detuning does. So I'll set one oscillator to saw wave, I'll set one oscillator to square wave, and I'll set one to a triangle. So that should look something like that. So that's something like a triangle shape. So now we're gonna shape the tone with a filter. Bring in a filter, and we're gonna need a note in to play notes into our synth, into our modular synth. So gonna connect our notes up, our inlets up. Gonna add our filter on the end. We're already getting some sound coming through. So as you can hear, we have a sound. So we can keep going with this. We can shape it with the filter by doing something like this. Really cutting off those high frequencies, leaving the lower ones. And that's what a filter does. It really cuts off those frequencies. And we're going to set it to low pass mode. It's already in low pass mode. And we'll use a cutoff that's higher so we can create a warmer sound. And we're going to add a little resonance for some smoothness and warmness to our tone. So now you notice that the filter really rounds it off and takes away some of the harshness of the wave shapes while keeping it still lush. We're going to add in some more things, and we're going to bring in some modulation into this pitch, into this rack, and we're going to add it to the filter cutoff. So I'm going to grab a LFO, and I'm going to add that to the filter cutoff. So if we turn on our modulation, we're getting something like that. And it gives a little drift in our tone. So I'm going to add a little bit less to make it more subtle. A little less movement. And then I'm going to keep going a little bit here. Finally, we're going to add some reverb into our track. Give it a little more space. A little more reverb into our build. And give it a little more space. So we're going to add reverb on the end. Give it some 3D. And now we can add in probably an amp so we can control when we hit a key. So I'm going to add in an amp. Bring in my amp. And I'm going to need one more thing just so I have control over that amp. I'm going to bring in an amp envelope. And we'll rename it so we call it amp ADSR. So now I can turn the volume down, grab some amplitude, and control my attack and decay. So let's add a little LFO to our second oscillator. So I want to modulate that. Different kind of sounds. The more we play with it, the more we get different sounds. More of an underwater sound now. So that's all we got for you today. Free for you to experiment, try out the sound for yourself, really dive into sound design, and get familiar with using the tools and really experimenting, because that's what it's all about. So there you have it, something inspired by Novation Peak, but built entirely in Reaktor blocks. And this shows you how versatile Reaktor can really be in creating like iconic hardware sounds. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more sound design tips, and let me know in the comments what sounds you'd like to see next. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another stream. Peace out.